adventure seeker, Patagonia is one of the most special places on the planet. Earthwise sent correspondent Michael Modzelewski to the bottom of the world to learn more about the environment.
Though it may seem like a trip back in time, scenes like this still exist in Patagonia, where Chilean gauchos select your horse for you and prepare it for a day's ride across the plains. At the very end of the Andes mountain range in Chile, at the tip of South America, lies Patagonia, a vastly unexplored, rich geographical region where mountains meet plains, surrounded by forests, lakes, and glaciers. I came here in March when this part of southern Chile is entering autumn to explore on horseback the steppes of South America's most famous national park, Torres del Paine. With the help of 2 local trekking guides, I set out with a small group over the dry plains, the gauchos leading the way. Though 9,000-foot peaks loomed in the distance, the terrain we were riding over was just 140 feet above sea level, known locally as Pampa. As we rode along, my guides explained that the Patagonian mountains capture virtually all of the moisture in the air, leaving the vast plains in a severe rain shadow. Nowhere else on Earth do precipitation levels drop off so dramatically over such a short distance. With sparse vegetation consisting of tussock grasses and rounded pale green thorny plants called calafate scrub, the landscape looked a lot like Texas, with spectacular views superimposed in the distance. Gauchos led us further, along the edge of the Rio Paine, a gentle, shallow river fed by melted snow and glacial runoff. We rode past sporadic clusters of low-growing trees known as nire, passing the occasional group of guanacos, a relative of the vacuna and llama inhabiting the hillside. As they grazed, these curious and friendly-looking herbivores kept one eye on us and one eye out for pumas, their chief predator. Above the guanacos, we were lucky to observe a juvenile black-chested buzzard eagle perfecting its flight. One of our guides explained that she'd been watching this young raptor for the past month and that it had recently fledged from its nest and parents to hunt on its own. The eagle seemed to be experimenting with its wings as it turned into a steep dive. It hovered easily a short distance above the cliffs, keeping an eye out for rodents and other prey. Then, as if showing off for our camera, the eagle did something unexpected. Keep your eye on the bottom of the screen. A lone guanaco wandering the hillside is not amused by the eagle's dive bombing. The eagle goes in for a couple more passes, and then relents to continue his search for food. Patagonia had provided us with a rare glimpse of interaction between 2 independent species, the first of many amazing sights that nature would reveal that afternoon. Riding from the lowlands, we gradually ascended a ridge in the shadow of enormous granite peaks. Everyone kept an eye out for other wildlife that could be found in this healthy ecosystem. In the late afternoon sun, a large shadow passed quickly overhead, and we turned to see something astounding. A group of Andean condors riding currents of warm air rising over a valley. The largest living raptor, the Andean condor, holds the impressive title of the world's heaviest flying bird of prey, averaging 20 to 25 pounds. With the greatest wingspan of any land bird, up to 10 feet, condors are well adapted to make the most efficient use of the warm thermals rising off the ground, enabling them to soar almost effortlessly while searching for their main food source, dead animals or carrion. Although they've been recorded gliding over thunderstorms at 15,000 feet, condors normally soar no higher than a few thousand feet over non-forested areas like mountains, deserts, and plains, returning to roost in the high cliffs and ledges from Venezuela to Patagonia. In sad contrast to this freedom, its relative, the endangered California condor, has suffered enormously by man's encroachment into its habitat, the last wild one being taken into captivity in 1987 part of an emergency rescue and breeding program to help save its dwindling numbers. Though its future today is uncertain, these Andean condors thrive, free to roam the skies of South America, unencumbered by man in his plans for expansion. Approaching the end of the day, we turned our horses around and rode back, discussing things we'd seen. Patagonia was a potent reminder how wildlife lives in a natural balance without interference by modern civilization. Anyone visiting this place can recognize that someday the two worlds may unfortunately meet. It's up to us to provide a method for their successful coexistence.